Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're taking a look at a spoiler-free review of the first 3 episodes of the new limited series on HBO Max titled Station 11. This is based off a best-selling novel that I personally haven't read yet, but I am interested in knowing what you guys think, the ones that have read it, what you guys think of the 3 episodes, or if you plan on watching it. Before we go into it, please make sure to like this video if you guys end up enjoying it. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new. But let's take a look at this. And so like I said, the show is a limited series that's based on a bunch of survivors of a devastating flu attempt to rebuild and reimagine the world anew while holding on to the best of what's been lost. So we've gotten a couple of recent shows or movies that have tried to focus on the pandemic. Now, this show obviously isn't based off the COVID pandemic. The novel was made before the pandemic. But when we have a show about a virus that decimates, the whole planet, and we have like this post-apocalyptic feel, we can't help but draw conclusions to what we have just went through with the COVID pandemic and what we're still going through, right? And so like the recent, pandemic shows or movies that I've seen, they haven't really been good. They always feel sort of like forced, and it always feels sort of too soon. I will say right off the bat that this show does a great job with it. I don't want to say that the first episode blew me away, but I was very surprised on how they tackled this pandemic, or like this virus that was spreading. It's a flu virus. And like I said, it could have been so easy for this to feel cheesy or forced, but it really does feel organic, and I think it works well. And because we just went through this COVID pandemic, it actually helps build interest for what this show is about. Like if we never had the pandemic, obviously like a flu virus killing everyone is interesting, But the fact that we just went through something that almost maybe could have done what the events that happened in this show, those events could have happened to us, it builds more interest to see like maybe what could have been. Another thing I like about the first episode is that obviously this topic is very heavy. It's a very heavy topic as we see like the world dying. But there is a lot of like feel good moments, and there's sort of like this like cozy, comforting feel to the show. And I think it's because it's set around the holiday season, or at least that first episode is. It creates like this comfy feeling that I liked. It creates like a good atmosphere, and like I said, just like a good feel. And the first episode was paced like almost perfectly. I thought it was really well done. Like that subtle pacing of seeing the virus. You know how a lot of virus shows, you've seen them, it's always like normal, and then in the background we slowly start to see the virus start creeping up. Like someone's coughing, and the show does the same exact thing, but it does it well. It doesn't really feel repetitive or worn out. And so, yeah, that first episode really surprised me. I think the time jumps, we get some time jumps where we see like the outbreak of the virus, and we go like, a couple of years into the future even, which I like because this is a limited series, so they can do that. They're not planning for, 6 seasons, 5 seasons. They're trying to tell like this whole apocalyptic story in such a short time frame. I think it's going to work well. So that first episode was really solid. The second episode focuses more of the future, and the main characters that we see in the first episode, they're shown a little bit in the second, but not as much as at first. And I think that, those characters in the first episode, seeing the virus start the outbreak, I think is where like the main interest is with the show. The 20 years in the future stuff is still interesting, but I just didn't get as hooked on it as I did with the present day stuff. I also realized that even with the episodes over 15 minutes long for each episode, it goes by pretty quick. It goes by quick. And so the second episode I thought was pretty solid as well. I did enjoy it almost as much as the first one. But the third, I have to say that I honestly didn't really like that much. And it's mostly because we focus on a character that I personally don't have that much interest in. Like, obviously it's only the third episode, but I think what they told us in that episode, it just made me not really care for her. It's sort of like the virus took a back seat, and it would focus on her job, her relationship with her husband, who's also a main character. But just seeing like the background of like how they met, some domestic issues and relationships that are going on with them, like them arguing, it just didn't feel like we were moving the plot anywhere. It just felt like background to a bunch of characters that didn't feel like were that important. But some people may like it, like the domestic relationship stuff. Some people may eat that up and they really enjoy it. The main character does a great job. There's some moments where she performs some great acting. There's a great scene, especially towards the end, where she's able to show her acting talents. But I thought the episode as a whole didn't really move the plot forward. It has a good ending, but it didn't really have me hooked like those first 2 did, at least. So overall, the first 3 episodes, I'm going to give it a total of 3.1 out of 5. If the third was just as good as those first 2, I would probably really be recommending it to you guys a lot. But because that third one just wasn't on the same tier, I don't think it's something that you need to go and rush and see yet. Obviously, if you're a fan of the book, obviously go and check it out. But I'm interested. Like, I'm really excited to see where it goes. I hope that third episode is just a little bump in the road, and we get to actually, move the plot forward in these next couple episodes. It's a limited series, but I don't know what that entails. Like, I'm guessing it's a 6-episode series, but I haven't really looked it up. But the actors are great. Kenzie Davis, an actress that I've always liked ever since her Black Mirror episode, San Junipero, I think is what hers was called. Such a phenomenal episode, right? She's a great actress. And then Patel, he's also really good in this. The first episode that he's like the main guy in, that was great. And everything with his story, I honestly really liked a lot. And I hope we focus more on him moving forward. But yeah, overall, just my thoughts are the first 2 episodes were really good. The third one I didn't like that much. So overall, I think it was a decent to good start for the show. But let me know what you guys thought of it down below. Did you guys enjoy it? Do you guys plan on watching it more? I think I'm going to plan on covering it. I think I might do an every episode recap and review. If there's only going to be 6 episodes, might as well. But let me know what you guys thought. If you guys plan on watching it, please make sure to like this video. If you guys end up liking it, please make sure to subscribe if you're new. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of the day.